Go. Good evening, one and all. I'm so sorry we are late. We're having technical issues. As you can see by the screen at the bottom, the mystery guest is Nathan, Net Vapor. And he had to go out tonight on a form of business, and he was going to park up somewhere and be in his car, and everything was going to work fine. But unfortunately, we could see him, but we couldn't hear him. so we've been desperately trying to sort that, and we'll continue to try. He's going to keep trying to call in and get it right. But we thought, we've got to go live in the end. It's half an hour late as it is, even by my standards. That's late. That's late. So a very warm welcome. Federico, a very warm welcome to you. Thank you so much for coming on. I always feel honoured when you pop on my show. It's lovely. I think we have actually had 2 prime ministers since you were here last, so it's been a long time. But a very warm welcome to you.
Good evening, everyone, and the honor is all mine, and it's really a pleasure to be here. And yeah, it's a bit of a pity that Nathan is having a bit of issues in connecting, but let's hope we can solve this and be here all together. But otherwise, we will just have to do it again when he's home and in an easier situation. Just in case, we will. If you invite me again, I will be pleased to come again.
I know how much Nathan wanted to come on as well, because he's desperate to ask you some questions about the Tabaccheria, which of course we know he enjoys. So while we're waiting, if I have to quickly stop and leap off what I'm saying to try and connect Nathan, I will. But up until then, say 1 or 2 hellos to some people in chat. Daniel, good evening to you. Hopefully Daniel put a message out. Will be a couple of minutes. I did send him a text to ask him to do that. I'm sure he did. Rufus, good evening to you. Guy Stewart, good evening, Guy. How long do we give this? Oh, Guy, where's your patience? Where's your tolerance? Laurie, good evening. Does anyone know what to do with my ambition mod where the screen cover for the chip seems to have fallen out? Oh, my word. I don't know which mod that is, Laurie, so you'll have to let me know which one it is. Adrian Mason, good evening to you. Kenny, good evening to you. I don't know what he said there. Coil, Under Pressure. Yeah, what's the Queen song? Under Pressure. Yeah, that's right. Let's hope it's not Another One Bites the Dust. We don't want that one, do we? We Are the Champions. We'll take that. We'll take We Are the Champions. Any other Queen songs? Coil, I think I said. Stuart Dill, no live yet. No, I know. Apologies, as I've said, for being late. Coil, all is good, Mark. Thanks for giving us some sliver cotton for half an hour. We say the sliver cotton is superb, like that. Craig, evening to you. Jim Mills hanging around. Yeah, sorry, Jim. Craig D, evening, Craig. Mark Trigwell, time to open a second bottle. Wow. Oh, hang on. 1 second. Nathan. Hang on, let's see what he says. Hi, Nathan.
Trying to connect.
Are you? 1 second. Let me get rid of that window. Nothing's coming through, I don't think.
Well, it says connecting, and I can hear the speaker. I can see the speaker thing. Not going through?
No. No, not coming through as yet.
Okay.
That's weird.
I used Safari this time.
Oh, did you? No, I'm getting nothing. No.
Try again.
Okay. All right. If it comes through, I'll hear it. So I'll answer it. Okay. Thanks, Nathan. Bless him. Right. Unfortunately, that box is behind the chat box, so I have to scroll back again. We'll get there. Don't know where I'd got to. Let's have a look. Oh, where are we? Let me just scroll back. I don't want to miss anyone because I was saying hello to people. Right, I think that was just the same people. Right, this will do. I got to this part. Stuart Dill, I've said. Laurie, I've said. Craig, I've said. Live. That's when we went live. I think it must have been. So that's good. We'll start there. Maybe he's doing a 1920 silent show. Oh, Jim, no. Yeah, it's live. Oh, Kenny, that's cruel. He's saying to Laurie, must be your computer, Laurie. I've tried switching it off, switching it on. So I think he's blaming the lack of live on for Laurie. Get her confused. Oh, hang on. We have life. Hello, Nathan.
Could you hear me?
Oh, yes, we can.
Yes, we do.
Yes.
Yes,
hear
we
me?
can hear you.
And I can hear you loud and clear now.
Fantastic.
Yay.
Fantastic. A very warm welcome, Nathan. Lovely to have you on the show. I've said
Thank
that,
you.
you know, I was honoured to have Federico on here. I'm as honoured to have you on here. I've been trying for such a long time to get you to pop on my show. And I know you don't normally do shows. So
You're the first, Mark. You're the first ever.
I am the first. and from a car as well, you're sitting in some dark street. Just for me.
Then I'm so honored to witness such an event. I'm very honored.
Yeah,
Federico, it's your honor and Mark's honor. I had today a very long day, and for me to join you guys is worth it. Sitting in my car, 90 miles from London, and joining your show.
Well, we really appreciate it, Nathan, and I'm sure the people in chat do as well. It's quite funny. I put on my group that exciting show coming up tonight, or I think it was yesterday I put it on. Exciting show coming up. Federico will be joining us, and a mystery guest if he can make it. How many people guessed it was you? Everyone.
Really?
I hope it's Nathan. I hope it's Nathan. I hope it's Nathan. That's all I got.
Well, I'm happy to be here.
So I was just saying hello to a few people in chat. I'll skip down that, and then we will run over a little bit, folks. I mean, if Nathan has to go, so you've got a long drive back, you just yell out, Nathan, if you say, "I'm sorry."
I've got an hour.
You got an hour. That'll do for us. That'll do for us.
All right.
Right. Okay. Let's skip through. Mark Trigwell. I think I said a good evening to Mark. I think so. Anyone else we've got down here? Refresh, no live. Yeah. Refresh. Guy Stewart, yeah, was said. Kenny, I think they're... Oh, Dion, there we are. Dion, good evening to you. Kevin Smith, evening, Kevin. Northwest, good evening. Pulled and by, evening to you. I spotted my lie something beginning with. Oh. Johan, good evening, Johan. Kevin, I've said. Gary Tucker, evening Gary. Jim Mills, I think I said Jim, but if not, I've said it again. Rufus, I've definitely said. And Adrian, scrolling down. Rasper, evening Rasper. Net Vapor is a mysterious cat. Anyway, don't break the myth. Right, okay. You possibly can't see the comments as I scroll them across, can you, Nathan, or can you?
I can
You can.
clearly.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Good. Murray Robertson, evening to you. Who else have we got down here? Getting near the bottom now, guys, so it won't be long. Bill Bottoms, evening Bill Bottoms. Laurie says it's her converter. All right, Laurie, we'll get to that later, or I'll message you privately. You've actually already had a new chip for that. Sure you did. EJS, evening EJS. Probably be one or two new people in chat tonight, purely because you're here, Nathan. So if you recognise anyone, please
Yes,
feel free.
I heard you said someone Northwest. I recognize that.
Yeah,
and
feel
better
free
a
to
few more.
say hello. Not, and the same goes for you, Federico. Someone might be coming over from Italy to come and watch you on the show. I don't know.
Never say never.
Never say never. Never say never. Right, I think we're getting to Johan. I said I can't see anyone else. No, I'm down the bottom now. Right, okay. Very quickly, shall we do it with vaping on?
Yep.
Far away, Federico. Far away. You take us away with it.
Pardon?
Oh, up to you. Tell everyone what you're vaping on.
Okay. So I have a Kentucky extra dry vaped in a Sputnik, you call it, and I have a nice London in a Zenith V2 with pre-made coils.
Yeah.
That's what I'm vaping on at the moment.
So you've already upset me. The Sputnik is an RTA I really, really want to try, and I haven't got one.
Very difficult to get a hold of.
Are they? Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know it's one of your favourites. I know that, Nathan.
And how? Yes,
Yeah.
they are.
Yeah. So
I bought it secondhand, so yeah, they're pretty hard to catch.
are they? So you're going to doubly upset me, Nathan, and tell us you're vaping on one as well.
Well, today I'm on my journeys, so I take with me a few RTAs as usual. I've got here my dwarf with the New York Cavendish, the black Cavendish, absolutely delicious. I've got in my Expomizer V4, which is one of my favorites. It's a very understated tank from X-Vape, yeah? Expomizer. I've got in here the Virginia for pod in my RTA, and it tastes superbly.
I bet.
And I've got in my Biker SE, I've got one of Juice Cabin. What was it called? Krumovgrad Bulgarian Oriental. So I've got 3 of La Tabaccheria and one of my other favorite, the Juice Cabin.
Right, okay. Just poking this one on the chat. Mark Davis says he can't stop long, but just popped in to say hi to Federico and thank you for your fantastic net liquids. Hello to Nathan too. I'm an avid follower of your YouTube channel and you always respond helpfully. Cheers.
Yeah, you can tell Mark, thank you for me for the mixing. When I've done the mixing chart on the New York, I put in on the concentrate, I put in 20% instead of 13.33, and he pointed out that mistake I've done on the review.
Right.
Because I configured it completely wrongly by choosing 20% instead of 20 mil.
Yes, I'm with you.
13.3%.
Yeah, I'm with you. Well, we all make mistakes, Nathan. That's why we're human.
Yes, exactly. But he pointed it out, and he was correct.
And living
anyway, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mark, for your kind words. It's lovely that you appreciate the liquids.
Evening to you, living life. Right, okay, what am I vaping on? Well, I thought I'd drag out, and I'm actually quite upset, Nathan, you're not vaping on one of these. The little
True Tank. I still got it, Mark. I still got it.
I know.
And I use it on occasion.
Well, I thought I haven't used mine for ages, and I thought I'd drag it out of retirement. And I've got it on the Ed Balance. And inside there, I have got... What have I got in there? I've got London in there. No, I haven't. I'm telling absolute pork pies. I've got Perique in there. That's right, Perique.
Delicious.
You'd think I'd know. I just tasted it. I've also got the K-Fun X, which I'm still thoroughly enjoying. K-Fun X is, I think, a superb RTA. And in there, I've got the Virginia, the normal Virginia in that one. I re-wicked this morning. It's always gorgeous after you re-wick and change your coil and that. Always is.
Yeah.
And in the pod, I've got London in there, in the Slim pod. Yeah, that's London. It's almost a bit like London. How would you, John Nathan, compared?
I
You
recorded my review on the London.
Yeah, you describe the e-liquids like I'm watching a wine tasting program, and I can't even begin to get to your standards of what they taste like. So
Well,
I'm going to let
I
you
will.
tell everyone in a minute what it tastes like.
Well, I
Yeah,
don't wanna
same
ruin-
same
I
for
don't-
me.
I don't want to ruin the review on the London, but
Okay.
I was expecting a completely different flavor when I smelt it, because the Latakia, I thought it would be a much more of a smoky, sort of more like the English mixer, like the Baphometto style. Not at all. It is so balanced, and there is a spice there that is spot on.
There is a spice there. I almost get
Yeah.
like hints of a memory of smoking drum. I've got that in my head for some reason when I vape that as well. So I don't know.
Yeah, because there is a smokiness in the New York as well,
Right.
but it is because it's a different type. It's something. It's a very mild Latakia. Am I correct, Federico, on that one? It's a mild Latakia.
I cannot really confirm or deny anything about the
Mm.
recipes, as the recipes are industrial secrets. No, I mean it. It's like asking Coca-Cola what's their secret. So I cannot really deny or confirm,
Or
but I can tell you that you're on the right path, so to say. But I cannot confirm any
And-
about the single ingredients.
And that brings me to my second question. I've got a bit of a list here, but since you're talking about the ingredients on the New York, when I reviewed the New York, I said that there is a smokiness, but there is in a back note, like when you open a fresh roll-up tobacco, like a Virginia and a Burley shredded, and you smell it, it's that fresh tobacco. You taste it in the back note of the New York, and
I
I've got
agree.
it in here in my dwarf, and that brings it out so beautifully. Am I correct in that assumption?
Yes, that's indeed what we are trying to recreate. The emotion, the feeling you get when you smell, like, this is the good smell of tobacco, not the one we were used to as smokers. So the burnt taste and that kind of bad smell. But this is the nice aspects of tobacco. So
Yeah, but
yes, indeed.
how do you get that perfect balance between the smokiness, the spice, and that fresh tobacco note is a mystery to me. I have no idea how you achieve that in a vape.
It takes time to balance all the ingredients, and our sommelier, they do their job very, very well. So I'm amazed as well.
As I said in the review, I bet that those who do feed the naturally extracted are long-term ex-smokers, because they know how
Yes.
to pinpoint what a smoker craves. Correct?
Absolutely.
I'd go with that.
I was indeed amazed by that sentence of yours, and I even created a clip from your video.
Oh, yeah.
With that specific part, because you're so right. Absolutely. The mission of the company is indeed to give a tool to people, a concrete tool, a useful tool to give up smoking once and for all. So this is indeed what we are trying to do since the very foundation of the company, and this is indeed what is our main motive to do what we do. So indeed, you're right.
Okay. Now I'll give you something, a little something to make you feel proud. I was I was today on a business. I met a guy who is a heavy smoker, and I allowed him to vape my. I don't normally like people using my RTAs, fussy, but I allowed him to vape the New York, and he said, with such a liquid, he will consider stopping the smoke.
Excellent.
Then it's up to you to help him, to assist him.
So I gave him Mark's website address, and
I thought you were going to say I gave him Mark's number.
no, I told him I pointed him to Naturevape. Go ahead and order, and I will order for him the right RTA or tank, whatever it is.
So I appreciate that, Nathan. Appreciate
He's
that.
really
I-
music to my ears. Yep.
and me too. That's good. And that's what it's all about, isn't it? I hadn't quite finished what I was vaping on, Nathan, but I love your enthusiasm, so I don't mind at all. I was given a present from La Tabaccheria, the Kiwi, which I've got here, and it's like a little charger. Drop it in. Like I would class this like a bit of a travelling companion, really, and it's a pod. Nathan, if you haven't seen one before, it's a pod. Vibrates when you put it on. It's got almost like I don't know if you can see it, like a cigar type end. So it's
Yes, I can see it.
quite
Yes.
like smoking would be. The airflow is superb, I would say, really good, but you clearly don't get the flavour you would get from something you're vaping on, or I am, an RTA. You don't quite get, the flavour that you would get. But as a travelling companion, very, very good. And thank you, Federico, for that. I appreciate that. And I
Extra dry
appreciate
for pot.
my T-shirt as well, my polo shirt, which
Whoa.
I'm sure, and you got one too. I'm sure, Nathan, you'd look stunning in one. If La Tabaccheria were to send you one.
It's not my style exactly.
Oh dear! But I teased Federico on the last show. What do you have to do to get one of those polo shirts? And I got one in the post, so it was lovely. It's lovely. So shall we let you fire away some of your? I know you've got a long list of questions, Nathan. Would you like to make a little start on your list?
I had many people asking me, how is it that the liquid is so clear? You see, most naturally extracted tobaccos are naturally amber, assuming that came from the tobacco leaf, that in nature it's also sort of a brown color. So that tints the liquid, the VG or the PG, whatever it's in. How is it that it's clear? And why isn't all naturally extracted tobacco clear if this is what gongs up the coil, the color itself, the amber, the tobacco essence?
So, as you see from many of our liquids, I mean the classical lines, the extracts, the elite line, and also the 4 pods, you see that all naturally extracted tobacco originally were colored, indeed, amber, yellowish, brownish, depending on the single leaf. So before it was like that, but after we had, let's say, 4 revolutions in our company history. The first one was the shake and vape, because before us, everything which was naturally extracted required months, at least weeks, but sometimes months of steeping. And we created the first revolution, which was shake and vape. You mix it and you can vape it right away. Then we had the second revolution, which was the organic for pod, which were these completely organic, completely naturally extracted, let's say, again, because we say organic in Italian means without any, additives or any other added flavors. You use organic. When I say organic, think that I mean naturally extracted tobacco. So these 4 pod lines is still made by naturally extracted tobacco leaves. And the thing is, we wanted to create something which was also could be used on non-rebuildables and pod mods. So that was the second very important step. With those, you already see that the 4 pods are a bit clearer than the original extracts. So we are doing a path. So there is a
Ages.
gradient, like an evolution on this. Then we had the third revolution, which was the Extreme for Pod white line, which Mark has not yet in stock, but we could be reasoning about it as well. And the thing is, the white ones were white, so completely transparent, still naturally extracted tobacco. For the organic for pod, you could be obtaining it with a 10% dilution, 35 ml before having to rewick. And with a 5% dilution, you could be obtaining up to 70. With the white line, you could be having 100 milliliters without having to, even think about your coil, be it a pre-made coil, a coil you made yourself, or in a pod mod. Sometimes the pod mods, are a bit tinier, the wicking holes, so they tend to last a little less. But with nice coils, you get 100 milliliters. The thing is, and these extra dry have the same concept of the white line. So completely transparent, still completely naturally extracted tobacco, still about 100 milliliters before having to think about anything, any problems with your coil. The thing is, the proprietary methodology we used since the organic for pod, and then that did evolve with the white line, and again with the extreme for pod line, is called a selective purification. So we still create the extract, the one you would be seeing in the classical bottles, like the 10 ml bottles, these ones. Then that one, thank you very much, Mark. Thing is, after that, there is a second passage, which is called the selective purification. And it can be done in one of three ways. With one kind of selective purification, you obtain the organic for pod. With another one, you get the white, extreme for pod white. With the final one, you get the extra dry. What happens is we basically, out of all the components which made up the aroma, the flavor of that single tobacco, we had the possibility to really select. This is why it's called selective, because we really selected which ones to keep, which ones to take out. And even in the organic for pod, you see them with like darker colors, because we kept all the pigments, all the components responsible for colors. With the extreme for pod and the extra dry for pod, we realized that even those components not only were responsible for coloring the cotton, but even also were responsible for a premature, ganking of the coil. So we realized that we could be keeping some parts of the aroma, taking out the pigments, while keeping an incredible flavor, I would say, because
sounds very scientific.
Yeah, there is much science behind this. I'm not a chemist myself, but there are chemists involved. Some technologies were really created by Orlando D'Alessandro, the machinery. So it's pretty complicated. We are still, of course, we were founded in 2015. Now, after a few years, we had much time to do many experiments, to try new technologies, and we still are investing and researching a lot. So I think we reached quite an amazing level, because also from your review of the New York, I was very pleased to see that you realized how strong the liquid is, how intense, how persistent the aftertaste on your palate. We are very, very satisfied with that. But of course, La Tabaccheria never stops. So we will see what happens in the future. And I realize that you can never. Orlando always has the possibility to really amaze you, to leave you really, really
But you
shocked
know,
in the
I,
most
I
positive way.
am publishing a test I've done. How long would a stock coil last
Hmm.
with the extra for dry pod line?
Hmm.
The original white. So I put in the New York in Anakin coil and a TMD by BP Mods, isn't it? The TMD coils.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Both are mesh. One is a 0.8, one is a 0.6, and I even tried a 1.05 ceramic.
Hmm.
And well, the review will hopefully be published in the next few days. But the amazing achievement, the end result was that I stopped the testing because what happened was the flavor was gradually going down, but it took 2 weeks and it still had 50% of the flavor. But I just got fed up of vaping, sort of lukewarm, 50% of the full
Hmm.
potential.
Yeah.
So I stopped the testing. But if I would have carried on, it would have carried on at least 3 weeks on one coil.
Yeah. It's quite astounding, isn't it? Really, it is astounding. I
So
thought you were going to
on my
say
RTA,
I thought you said you're going to say that you packed up because you ran out of liquid.
no, I didn't want that. I actually done 100 mil for that test.
Yeah.
And this RTA, the dwarf, is still going strong. Well, I don't want to open it here in the car, but the wick is still clean and the flavor is pristine. So I'm not sure why you don't actually do the whole full range in this format.
Funny you should mention.
Well,
Because
we
yeah,
we just released the 12 new flavors in the extra dry line. So if you and anyone in the chat want to go and have a look at all the new flavors, because Mark is showing some, but new ones are coming.
Early.
I mean, new ones even for Italy. So there is a lot going on, and don't you worry, Nathan, that we are on the same page here. Like everyone is amazed, and we all realize that. I mean, this line is so amazing that every liquid, or I mean, many liquids will come out in this shape. Yep.
you've got a very strong marketing potential here, and I'll tell you why. Most vapors, the main expense, those who vape stock coil, is not so much the liquid, it's the coils.
Yeah, that is true.
So if you produce a liquid that will preserve the coil 3 times, or what 3 times? Much more than that, 5 or 6 times longer than a regular coil, they wouldn't mind paying a bit extra for the liquid initially,
Yeah.
but in the long term, they'll save a lot of money on the coils. And for us, more hobbyists, the re-wicking, I re-wick nearly every day or 2 days the max. I can sometimes wick twice a day. So for me, this type of liquid is, well, time consuming.
It gives you confidence.
Time
to
saving.
Go away for 3 or 4 days and think, I don't need to take my
Yeah.
cotton and my coils.
You can carry on with this liquid a solid week,
Yeah.
day in, day out, on the same wick, and the flavor will stay the same.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I found myself when going on holiday, not having, to bring all the tools I used to go
There
with.
you go.
It was just, amazing. Just the experience you want to have, not having to worry about your vape, being
That's
just
right.
content and satisfied with it.
The Mata Fina, would you have in the range in this extra dry?
Yes, indeed.
The Baphometto?
Go. Yes. But please do go. Maybe you could even put the link in the chat, Mark, if you want.
Daniel, could you go on La Tabaccheria website and put the link in chat, please, for the extra dry range? That would be great.
You-
Daniel's my
oh, yeah.
spanner. He'll do it.
They are on the top of the shop, so if you want just to put like
Yes, but you know,
www.
Federico, one small, little but massive problem is that you need to supply it to Mark, otherwise we can't get hold of it.
Yeah, so
We've got
I mean,
the issues there, like these three, which we'll get to in a little while: the London, the New York, and the Florence. Every time I buy anything from La Tabaccheria, it's not as straightforward as just saying, "Yeah, I'll have 100 bottles of that and 100 bottles of that." They have to make the labels. If you look closely, Nathan, you may have noticed that the labels
Yes, I've
on
noticed.
all
Yeah.
the bottles, they have to have imported by Naturevape on them. And
Yeah.
to make that worth La Tabacceria's time and financially right, I can't just order 30 or 40 bottles of one. I order a couple of hundred, otherwise the labels aren't worth
That's
printing,
right. Yeah.
which I'm happy to do. I'm very happy to do that. But perhaps I won't say, I'll take the full range of absolutely everything, because it's not as easy to do
No,
as
it's not
that
viable. Yeah.
and
Yeah,
just
100%.
restock the best sellers. So we have,
Mark, we're very happy what you've got, believe me.
yeah, I did stock quite a few.
Yes.
And that
I've
will
been-
expand. That will expand. You know,
And the fact that you can get La Tabaccheria at all in the UK is already a massive advantage for all tobacco vapors. So, Mark, everything you've got on that website is a bonus.
yeah. Excellent. I didn't hold the thumb up high enough.
Yeah.
Got a couple of questions in chat. Mark, will you be getting the English mixture?
just a second, because the link here is in Italian, so you could just go on the top right of the page and select the other flag, and you just go to the English, because
Thanks,
otherwise
Daniel,
it's in Italian.
for doing that. Yeah, Mark, will you be getting the English mixture? Yeah, again, down to labels really, and availability, because I'm right in saying this, Federico, aren't I? Like I said to you a couple of weeks ago, that I'm getting low on the Virginia, need to reorder some, and I've got to wait until, I think it's December, is it, that I've got to wait for that?
Yep.
Yeah, so we're not
Mid-December.
far away now from December, but all things are done in batches, so they have to be done a bit in advance.
Yeah, but as I told you, Mark, we're getting much faster, because
Yes.
we just invested in doubling the equipment. So
Yeah,
I think the waiting time are gonna be smoother from now on.
fantastic. Kevin Smith has got a question for you. Can I ask Federico if they will be ever use plastic bottles with nibs? Enjoy all your e-liquids, Federico.
I'm not sure what nibs mean. Like, is the
Plastic
one you?
bottle with a little
For mixing, it's easier to do your mixing with them, because when you use a scale and you use the bottle, the glass bottle, sometimes it's a bit difficult to get the right milligram. But if you got plastic that you can squeeze with a small sort of nozzle, it will go out. It will go out drip by drip, and you get the exact amount on the scale.
Thing is, we tend to use not drops, but like the exact quantity. So you could be doing like Mark showed with the scales, or I use the cylinders. So rather than using the bottle itself, I tend to use the graduated cylinders.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, it's a small point. If you're sticking to glass, you're sticking to glass. I mean, some people would say that they prefer it to come in glass, so it matters not. I think with the concentrate as well, although Nathan, we've both gone down the scales route recently, but and a big thanks to Craig for that actually as well. That I must point that out. The scales, the brand of scale was down to Craig and his suggestion. So I can't take full credit. Give that one to Craig. But yeah, my point with the concentrate, I guess that because the concentrate, you don't want to waste any. You could actually just do that with a syringe, couldn't you? And
yeah, with the concentrate, actually, I do use a syringe as well,
You do,
like a very tiny
yeah.
one.
Yeah. So no change to in the coming up for what container you put them in, shall we say?
Don't think so. No.
No. Craig says he absolutely adores Nathan's enthusiasm. Wish more reviewers could find some. Yeah.
Thank you.
I was actually looking, Nathan. You've done something like 360 odd reviews now.
I never counted.
Yeah, I had a look, 360 odd. And I thought, wow, that is commitment, because they are time consuming. I know that from the ones that I do. Probably the hardest one that I've done lately was the scales one, to get everything in the right place. It was like, oh, how do I pour this without the bottle then in front of the camera? But yeah, and I was quite stunned that I remember in your early days, I had quite a few more subscribers than you. Well, unfortunately, that's now reversed. Yeah.
And Mark, I never checked this. You see, my reviews are.
Oh
No.
BT went dosh. He'll be back, folks. He'll be back. Well, I can tell you, Nathan doesn't do it for subscribers. He does it for pleasure, and the subscribers come. Someone once said to me, if you want to earn a lot of money, do what you enjoy. Don't worry about the money. The money will come because you're enjoying what you're doing. And they're quite right, really, in a lot of ways. But he has got 5.7 thousand subscribers, which I think, he hasn't been going that long, really. I think that's amazing. He's done very well. Nathan, is he? Oh, I thought he was trying to get through. Maybe his battery went flat on his phone. Could have done. Nathan is the David Attenborough of the vaping world.
Whoa. I love David Attenborough. You have no idea how much I personally appreciate David Attenborough. And Nathan is really talented in describing the sensations.
He really is. He's the creme de la creme of reviewers. Such a pleasure. Honestly, that last review he did, I felt like I was in the room with him vaping that juice, because I tried that flavour and I thought, I feel like I'm in the room with him. It's quite extraordinary how he gets that, and it's a talent I haven't got. So it's you have to admire it in other people.
Absolutely. And I also appreciated so much that he could so precisely frame the intention of the creators of the liquid.
Yeah.
The fact that they were indeed long-time ex-smokers and so on. So it was really a pleasure to see that.
Yeah, absolutely. Top question, Nathan. Some sort of wizardry filtration systems, Craig says, about your extra dry. Maybe now is a good time, or should we? We'll give Nathan a couple of minutes. Hopefully, he'll join us back. Then we'll talk about more about the extra dry range. It gives me a chance to get rid of a few of the comments in chat. Italy loves nets. Everyone's an expert. A passion I respect. That was Mark Trigwell. Thank you, Mark. Oh, and as everyone noticed, I have changed that Larry green that comes across the screen to a little bit more of a Naturevape coloured green. So I changed it, Federico, and it was like this, almost like luminous green. It was horrible. And I kept saying I'd do it, and I kept forgetting. Yeah, Craig says he'd love to go to Italy and visit a few net manufacturers. Obviously, he'd come to you first, Federico. Obviously.
The thing is, we have so many requests for this, but we're not really open to visitors. So I'm very sorry, but we're not something we can really open to the public.
No. I suppose that'll probably come with time, though, will it?
Yeah.
Like
maybe
in
the future.
Like, if you'd have spoken to, I don't know, someone who made wine in the early days, they'd say, no, we're not open to the public. But later on, they have a factory shop and they have tours, and it does come, doesn't it?
Yeah, probably in the future it would be like that, but as of now we have no openings to visitors.
We could have our own Net Vapor Expo in Italy. It's Craig. Craig is also has a a site where he reviews net liquids. So I think I actually sent you one of those, Federico. That Craig does a lot of sampling himself and tries them and writes his reports on them. So it's all good. Steve Barron, there's a question. I know what I think, but I'm going to let you answer this. Will this be done in Nick salts? Well, it's up to you what you add to it, really, I suppose. That's well, I've answered it. Go on. Look. So you were going to say as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Because those are, I mean, the bottle is filled with concentrated flavor, and then it's you to add the quantity and the type of nicotine you want. So you could be doing it with Nick salts, no problem.
Personally, I've discussed this before. I can't vape salts. They just make me sneeze. Sneeze and sneeze.
Really?
Oh, Nathan's coming back. Here he is. And he's back.
Yeah.
Nathan, pay your
Is
bill.
the angle okay?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah, you look fine.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Someone called me on the phone. It seems
Did they?
disconnected.
Right. Okay. Well, at least you know you can take a call while you're doing this.
Yeah.
Grateful Ant, good evening to you. Mike Haynes, evening, Mike. Just finished work. Hi, Federico and Nathan. Yep. How your shares doing, Mike? We won't have time for them, I don't think, tonight. We'll swerve them tonight. Daniel Naturevape, please let Federico know that my friend is still cigarette free after 6 months of vaping La Tabaccheria after a 55-year smoking habit.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I know the friend.
This is great news.
Talking about, yeah, and she was a heavy smoker, very heavy smoker. And I think he tried her on custards or something initially, and she just could not do with it. She just just didn't work for her. But yours did. So yeah, it was like Daniel's project to get her off stinkies, and he got there. And you had a similar thing, didn't you, Nathan? With one of your friends, he bet you that the e-liquid wouldn't be a substitute for his pipe
tobacco.
His pipe tobacco. That's right.
And that was the English mixture. And that English mixture is quite popular where I go with my cigar club. Although English mixture is purely pipe tobacco, but it gives you that cigar sort of experience, that smokiness, gives you that smoke, you know? So even a cigar smoker would enjoy the English mixture. It's, in my opinion, the Baphometto and the English mixture is one of the best liquids for any smoker, really, especially for cigar and pipe smokers.
Yeah,
I never tasted something that so nearly the real thing. And by the way, the guy who used to smoke the pipe is now full-time vapor.
He is.
Wow.
Excellent.
On the English mixture.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because that was a bit of a bet you had there. I thought that was quite a brave move of yours, Nathan, to smoke on a vaping channel. But I thought it was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
That's why I was talking to you just before I got disconnected, because my reviews are not for any financial gain or subscribers gain or any of that sort. This is purely something that I believe in and I enjoy. And in my opinion, I might sound a bit dramatic, but it is a life-saving alternative to smoking.
Which is pretty much what I said while you weren't with us.
Right.
That's exactly why I said you did it. You don't do it for numbers or anything. You do it.
I just do it because I enjoy it, and that's why I don't review every product that comes on the market. Because I'm not interested to review just to review. I'm interested to review something that I want to review, not that I have to review. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Absolutely. Right, well, shall we... What's the time? Good God. Where does this time go? Shall we just talk briefly about this new range then, for those that don't know. I'm going to share my screen and we'll let Federico, I think. Where's my share screen? Come on, Mark. Get with the program. It wouldn't be me if there wasn't an issue. So here we go. I think that'll work. Yep, there you go. So at the minute, I've just got the 3, as I mentioned, and they're all saying out of stock. That's because they haven't arrived yet. They haven't sold. They just haven't arrived. So let me go on to there. So the 3 for the London Extra Dry, the Florence, and the New York. So I think we have kind of discussed those anyway, haven't we, Federico? But anything you wanted to add about the range, or anything you wanted to say?
Well, yes, we did already cover a bit the aspects of the single week liquids with Nathan and the history and why we created the extra dry range. But let's do it again. Let's underline something different, something more. And so the thing with these is we tend to present those because in Italy and some other markets we've been having white products for quite a while now. And so the white product was, again, a revolutionary product because with a completely natural product, having 100 milliliters with a coil was completely fantastic, and it's a very strong seller for our market. But once we discovered the technology, the new version of, let's say, a Latakia tobacco in the extra dry range, the thing that really surprised us is that with the white ones, you had a great head. So the beginning of the flavor was top, but then you did lose a bit of body and the aftertaste. With the extra dry, we could really maintain, let's say, the whole spectrum. So with the head notes, a great body, and a great persistence. So everyone, I was in the Vape Italy in May, and we had people coming to try those. As they were released on the market, and people couldn't believe, I was saying, their eyes, but because they were completely transparent, and they were like, what? How can it be so strong while being so transparent? And when we confirmed that even with those, like the white ones, you could be having 100 milliliters of coil duration, people were just shocked. And I'm still shocked to this day because it's really something, it's hard to believe how good, how superior the liquid can be while being so clean.
You'll see the review on my test I've done. You'll be amazed. I took out the coils from the tanks after 2 weeks, and you'll see that there hardly any gunk on them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that
It's
brings me
amazing.
to another. That brings me to another question I wanted to ask you. You see,
Please.
I meet a lot of. I drive around a lot to different towns. Part of my business, I meet a lot of youngsters, mainly in the building trade, in that type of work, that they all smoke. And well, I do try to convince them quite a lot on the vaping. And a lot of them told me that they tried various, not disposables, or similar. I reviewed something from Innoken. It looks like a disposable, but it's really not. You have a pre-filled tank that you put in a battery, so you just change the pods. Yeah. Why doesn't La Tabaccheria do some kind of collaboration with, I will just say a name, Innoken, right? With tobacco, because all of those Innoken sent me all fruit flavors. They're very nice, but a smoker who stopped smoking today, Tuesday, and he wants to wake up in the morning with his coffee to smoke, he doesn't want a banana flavor with his coffee. He wants tobacco.
Yeah.
So why doesn't, I think it's a win-win for La Tabaccheria, and Mark can sell the product pre-filled with a battery like the one you showed me before, that nice one that you showed me, Mark.
This one.
Yeah, with naturally extracted tobacco, pre-filled Virginia.
Yeah, but I cannot really comment on this, but you had a nice idea.
I think I think we can work that one out. Well done, Nathan. It's a knack. It's a gift.
Well, I mean, it's a given. It's a win-win for a lot of
I
new
get.
vapors.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I used to know a guy, and he used to actually get quite angry. He was determined to find. This was like 10+ years ago. He was determined to find a nice tasting tobacco, and I don't know if you remember the early days. The tobacco flavored e-liquids were absolutely horrible. They smelt like this. I don't know what that stuff was that people used to put on their jackets. Like it just stunk. It was absolutely horrible. And he said that, yes, I can get custards, I can get bananas, I can get everything I want. He said, but I didn't get addicted to custard. I got addicted to smoking. And that's what he wants. That is exactly what he
When
wants.
I first started vaping, I used synthetic tobacco, I can't even remember the names anymore, and it was just horrible.
There's one called
until I discovered Black Note. But
yeah,
if not for Black Note, I would have been smoking.
Yeah. I can't. There was one called something ship, and I can't remember. I think it was more like something else that sounds like ship. But it wasn't good. It wasn't good.
Yeah, well, for me, it was La Tabaccheria. Before that, I tried fruity, creamy, but with a nice glass of wine in your hand, just couldn't do it with fruit, tropical fruits. It was indeed not the thing I did get addicted to as a youngster. So I needed tobacco. We needed tobacco,
I had an argument with a long-term smoker, and he stopped, and he doesn't vape tobacco, and he smokes custard-based liquids. And I asked him don't you crave your smoking? So he said that he wants to stay away from tobacco flavors that will tempt him back to smoking. So and I heard this again and again from quite a few people, and that does not make sense to me at all, because no one stops smoking because they don't like it. It's because of health.
Yeah.
So if you can preserve your health and have the tobacco flavor, it's a win-win.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I hear that as well, Nathan, to be fair, but it's one of those strange ones. Mark Morrison has got a question. Put that up. Hi all, is there much of a flavour difference in the extreme dry compared to the classic extracts? The extracts are incredible. The Black Cavendish, Italian Cigar and Latakia are superb. I've actually got a comment on this because I love the fact that with these, for dry, the coils do last forever, as we've discussed. But I have got a sweet tooth, and that's why I tend to find myself going back to the to the others.
But that was my second question, Mark.
Right.
If the Virginia extra dry, is it less sweet than the standard?
Yes.
I would say so, because we need to clarify and be very precise here, because when you say extra dry, you or anyone could be thinking it means that leaves your mouth dry. But actually,
no.
dry is
Less
in the
sweet.
sense, you completely understand, completely, 100%, Nathan. But let me just
You
be
want
clear
to
for
taste
everyone.
dry, you taste the Azadirexis, Turkish tobacco.
Yeah.
You ever heard Azadirexis is also Italian?
Yes, I know what you refer to.
That is
what
dry.
I wanted to clarify.
I cannot vape it.
Yeah, I know what you mean. But indeed, as in enology, so in wine tasting, dry is defined as opposed to sweet, sweetish. So this is what we refer to. We're not saying those are liquids that leave your palate dry, your mouth
No,
dry.
no.
Not at all. They tend to be the interpretation of our liquids with the least quantity of sugars inside. So I can understand that this creates preferences. This is what we wanted to have. So with those with a sweet tooth, you could be more for the white ones rather than the extra dry. But we think that smokers that want to, uh, trash their pack of cigarettes today and give up smoking today, they tend to appreciate more the drier aspect
Yes.
of the
Yeah,
taste.
I can.
Because what also I get
cigarettes
from
are
my
not sweet.
friends. Yeah, indeed. So I understand that since we are in a market which is filled with very, very sweet things, I completely understand it. And it's not like something is better, something is worse. It's for different tastes, different palates.
Yeah.
So me myself, I never really appreciated those custards, those fruits, those
No.
things. So
But they,
me myself, I tended to rebuild in such a way to get less sweet aspects of the liquids, choosing atomizers like the Sputnik, so you could have the least sweetness you could obtain. But this is personal. So me and many others are finding themselves that I rebuild once a month, twice a month tops, and I use the extra dry. Then that's it. And I've been rebuilding like 2, 3, 4, 5 times a week for years. Now I don't want to do it anymore. But it's not like I'm just lazy. I'm completely content and satisfied with this kind of liquid because for me, it's a masterpiece, an absolute masterpiece. Otherwise,
go on.
Yeah.
Go on, Nathan.
no,
No,
I
you
mean,
go ahead,
for
Mark.
others, it could be different.
I was just going to say, I still enjoy them, but for different reasons. But after a while of vaping that, I do crave that sweetness. I'm not a custards person, never have been. But I do like the sweetness you get in the normal extract Virginia, because it has got the little sweet note to it. And that isn't there with the extra dry. That's you can tell it's well, you've taken it out. That's why it doesn't gunk the coil.
I personally
Yeah.
vape on occasion a fruit, or the fruit mainly, for 20 minutes, just for me to appreciate the tobacco when I get back to it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
Also using different kinds of liquids, even like different tobaccos within the same like moment
Yeah.
of vaping could be very
Yeah.
useful to reset and restart the palate.
100%. That's
tongue.
why I've got RTAs with different liquids in them all the time.
Mhm. But the thing is, Mark, I wanted to really stress this one. It's not they last for 100 milliliters because they don't have the sweetness, because the white ones are sweeter and they still last very long. So different lines for different targets.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
just the
And you must mention that
philosophy.
the sweetness is a natural sweetness.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
Those
that
are
is
the
a
sugars.
huge
The
of the
sugars
leaf.
naturally contained in the leaf
Right.
of tobacco. Absolutely. We add nothing to the leaves.
Yeah. Yeah.
There
No.
are
That is a
zero
major
added
factor, yeah.
substances. Yeah, we add
100%.
nothing.
What is it with the Italians that they love the tobacco so much?
I mean, we love to live life to the fullest, I think. So all the pleasures, all the things we can have, and of course, if you can have, as you mentioned, the best of the experience of tobacco with the best of not having the issues, the health issues at many levels. I mean, why not?
100%. I agree with you 100% on that.
Well done, Mike. He's up. I'll just put it on there. Well done, Mike. Coil, and incidentally, Coil, I hope you're making a speedy recovery. Coil hasn't been well at all. Well, I only had one question. It wasn't addressed, so I'm sulking and going to bed. I don't know what he asked. I missed it. Sorry, Coil, if I missed it. Don't know. I can't scroll back now, but hopefully you haven't gone to bed. Ask it again. I'll find you and I'll ask. Daniel, Naturevape. Some people say that the vaping community doesn't exist anymore. I think tonight's show and comments prove the community is 100% alive and well. Yeah, thank you, Daniel. That's a very good comment, because we have had the industry's had its share of, call it drama, call it what you like. But tonight we're just here to enjoy what we enjoy, which is vaping. And yeah, long may that continue. That's what it's all about. For us three, and I'm sure a lot of you in chat, that's why you're here. Otherwise you wouldn't be here.
100%.
Yeah.
You know, I met over the years that I've been reviewing, I met some lovely people that without the vaping, I would have never met them.
Yep. Me too.
And you know, you meet the world becomes quite small through reviews.
Yeah.
And you realize that most of us have got so much in common.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. 100%. Yeah. Thank you, Mike. Mike says hit the thumbs up. Yeah. If you have enjoyed tonight's show, I know we're running over a bit, but we will run over a bit because we're late starting. If you have enjoyed the show, give us a thumbs up. If you've enjoyed having the three of us here, and I'd love to have us three back again, because we could probably talk for the next 5 hours. That wouldn't be hard at all, I don't think. Just chewing the cud over the extracts and things. So yeah, hit the thumbs up. I did actually have a squiggly thumb to remind people. Where was that? It was years ago. Here it is. I found it. There you go. Have a little squiggly thumb.
Yeah. Well, you know, interesting that Federico mentioned before that he vapes the Sputnik, that it gives him more of a drier vape. RTAs have got an interesting character to them. Some RTAs sweeten the liquid, round it up. They take away the sharpness from the tobacco. It's mainly in tobacco and fruit, the overwhelming sweetness of the fruit, any RTA will be sweet. But with tobacco, some RTAs are less sweet and some more sweet. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, the same liquid.
You have no idea how many years in Italy we've been discussing this. You have no idea. People fighting, arguing over forums, Facebook, and so on. It's madness. You're right in saying we are maniacs with the liquid tobacco here in Italy, and we've been that way for many years. And there is a huge history of RTAs more for those kind of vapors. So yes,
I found
yes,
a very decisive, the K-Fun X, for instance, it rounds up the flavors and brings out the sweetness more. While, for instance, the Fev as well, the same character, but the Sputnik and, for instance, the Spiker Pro, yeah, those bring out more the essence of the tobacco. It's an amazing. When you smoke a pipe, you don't. Some people smoke one blend per pipe. Yeah, but with RTAs, you just have to re-wick, and a different RTA just brings you a different vaping experience. It's well, I think vaping is so much more enjoyable than smoking, if you ask my opinion.
Yeah. Maybe that's why I like the K-Fun X so much, Nathan, because it brings out the sweetness. There you go.
Absolutely.
There you go. Adrian Mason, now, this is a very good point. And I actually agree with Adrian 100% here. He's basically, so I've read the question, he's basically saying that booster shots shouldn't be called booster shots, and I agree with him, they shouldn't be. And if I put the table camera on here, you'll see what I mean. They're the little booster shots from the Alchemist cupboard. Now that is just VG and PG long fill booster shot. You can see it's called there. It should be called like base, and I agree, mixed base or something, because boost makes it sound like it's nicotine and it's not. And
this is precisely what I asked you yesterday, Mark.
Yeah,
I was pretty perplexed that you could booster something which wasn't really boosting anything. So
yeah,
I agree with
I've only called them that, Adrian.
When I done the review on the mixing, La Tabaccheria have got they call it base actually.
Yeah.
and I was debating if I should call it base or booster, but on the bottle it said booster, so I can't really.
I wanted to call it base on the website, but the bottle says booster, so I had to call it booster.
Exactly my dilemma.
So, Adrian, we agree with you. It's stupid, but that's what the label says. So that's what we've done. So hopefully we've cleared that one up. Yeah, crazy, isn't it? Mark Morrison says he loves the sound of New York after watching your review, Nathan.
Thank you. I can't see the comments. I just want to say thank you to all those who joined the chat today for me, and I appreciate that.
And Kieran has joined us, home at last. Good evening, Kieran. It would have been nice to have you on tonight
Hi,
as
Kieran.
well. We could have the four stooges talking about mouth-to-lung vaping and naturally extracted tobaccos, etc., etc. But I hope you're well. I know Kieran's had to work a lot lately, which is why he hasn't been on the show with me. But I don't know if that will change. I don't seem hopeful that it will for some time, but hopefully it does. I enjoy having him on. Right, what else have we got? Anything else that we wanted? Any other questions you had, Nathan, on your list?
Well, I think I've gone it through with him. I mean, I can carry on asking questions, but I don't want to lengthen this show too long. And then one thing springs to mind straight away. How did you get the matafina so delicious?
He's not going to tell you. You know that, don't you?
But I mean, it's just the choice of the best kind of tobacco. Like that Matafina has been precisely chosen among others because it was so exceptional. So we really know how to.
The Pilota Cubano, the Pilota Cubano, is got this such a lovely woody back note to it. It's as if you're smoking a pipe. You know, sometimes you get a woody flavor from a burley with a Cavendish. You know, one of those pipe blends. You get this lovely woody. When you used to smoke, I don't know if you smoked pipes. You get this in the Pilota Cubano. It is so spot on. Well done to you.
Not to me, but I will relay these compliments to the one who created and selected.
It's also Tina's favourite. That is the Matafina. That's her favourite.
The Matafina, yeah.
Yeah,
very good.
Yeah, that's her favourite.
Matafina was my very first one.
I'll put this on the screen just for Federico.
Yeah, I did read it before that, but I was like, am I going to say it? Maybe not. But now you have to do it.
Gran Reserva. Is that right?
Yeah.
Precise.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, precise. There you go.
The only thing is you pronounce the R the English way. For us, the gran.
You have to be Scottish to do it that way then, in England.
Yeah, I did see that the Scottish have a better time in trying to pronounce the more Mediterranean sounds because they have the R.
They do.
Oh, I just remembered a question someone asked me to ask you. Do you, well, it's more to Federico because Mark does not ship to the US. Does La Tabaccheria ship to the US?
Not as of now, unfortunately, no. They have very, very strict limitations and we're not yet compliant for that market. So not for the moment, no.
I've stopped all overseas at the minute because that was a bit gut-wrenching to do it, really. But they made it so hard to ship within the EU because of us, Brexit, and all the rest of it. And even outside the EU, we were having parcels lost, smashed, returned, and returned badly, sometimes with nothing in them. We just got the envelope back. And it was actually costing us money to ship to people. So I had to just knock it on the head. I had to just say no more. But there are a lot of people, whoever asked you that question, Nathan, and I had one today, a guy used a shipping forwarding company to get his product, which actually was La Tabaccheria, to Australia via me. So it gets, when you order it to a UK address, which is a shipping forwarding company. They then send it to Australia. So that can be
That's a
done.
good advice.
Yeah, so that can be done. Anyone overseas, we get an awful lot of them. We normally know who they are because it will have like hashtag and about a 7-digit number. That's their account number. Then it has the address, so they know where to send it. It hits them. They know where to send it because the customer's account number's on that address, and off it goes forwarded. So anyone got that? Just Google shipping forwarding company to the US or to my country, wherever.
One more question, if I may. Someone asked me to ask. The shelf life of La Tabacceria's concentrates and the shelf life after you mixed it with VGPG and nicotine.
Well, I don't want to reply for every market, but at least for Italy, we stopped putting any expiry date on the concentrate
Yeah.
itself because it's not mandatory anymore. And from our tests, we have flavors done at the very beginning. So after 7 years and a few months now, which are completely stable and still have a very, very strong and nice flavor to them, aroma to them. So
Yeah.
there is no need, like no physical, no chemical need to put any expiry date. For the mixed liquid, we have two aspects to consider. One is
The
nicotine,
Yeah.
because nicotine in itself does oxidate. So that's a problem,
Yeah.
but it's not about the liquid, it's about the nicotine. The
Yeah.
other aspect, together with the direct sunlight, which is also in the labels clearly stated, they don't appreciate the direct sunlight, they can be ruined by direct sunlight. The correct conservation, it's better in glass. So if you mix it in a plastic bottle, after, I'm not saying days, not even months, not even a couple of years, but maybe after 3-4 years in a plastic bottle, it could be getting suboptimal. Not bad, suboptimal. Could be losing a bit. If you store it in a dark place, in a glass flaken, glass bottle, they tend to last forever. Without nicotine, I mean. Maybe you could just mix it and then add nicotine when you use it.
That's
also
what I
you could just
suggested.
mix it the moment you want to use it, because they can be vaped right away.
Yours
This is the
doesn't
first
last longer than
evolution.
2 weeks
We
anyway,
wanted
mate.
people
But
to stop waiting months to give up smoking. If you want
That's what I
to
said
throw away
exactly to him.
today your pack
Yeah.
of cigarettes, you need to do it today. Not having to buy your liquid today and after 6 months you will be having the nice taste of tobacco. That would be nonsensical for a person wanting to give
That
up
was
smoking
my
today.
advice. Yeah, that was my advice in regards of steeping. That La Tabaccheria does not need steeping. I'm no big fan on allowing liquids to steep and you can't enjoy it. You mix it. I allow 24 hours just for the nicotine to bond well with the VGPG and vape away.
Yeah, I mean 24 hours also depends on the temperature. In
Yeah.
summer,
In a
they
cool,
tend
dark
to
place.
mix easier.
Yeah.
The hotter the weather is, they tend the faster they tend to mix. The
The
colder
VG
the weather gets.
loses its consistency and heat.
Indeed.
Right.
I've been vaping liquids that I bought when I was in the US. I was in New York. In 2019, I brought with me a few naturally extracted tobaccos. I found their company, and I'm still vaping them. No problem at all. The only thing is, it became a bit more. I think the VG has lost a bit of its consistency. If it was 70-30, so now it's probably 60-40, something like that. You know, that's the only difference. The nicotine is also still potent. I don't feel any problem at all. That's what, nearly 3 years.
3 years. Yeah, I mean, I think it'll do that.
Nicotine even like tends to shift in color. Like a neutral base with nicotine, when it's new, it's completely transparent. Even after a few months or a year, they tend to go yellowish.
Yeah,
So
but
you
if
see
you
it
keep
from
them in
there.
the freezer, they will they will hold for years.
Yes,
Nicotine will hold for years in the freezer. And
I
actually,
agree.
the slight color you get in the nicotine is a good sign. It shows that it's pure. A nicotine
Oh.
that stays completely clear, I would question the quality of that nicotine.
Almost like a peachy pinky color, you mean, don't you?
That's right.
Yeah.
I had a review once, and if
Yeah.
pink nicotine is good or bad, and it's actually a very good sign to it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Jim Mills.
Anyway, just a second. I cannot comment with the others, with the other producers, the other manufacturers, but from our analysis, the tobacco extract is stable. Just stays stable, as no chemical modifications in time. So chemically, it's as stable as nature can get. It's there and stays there.
Yeah, fair enough. So 7 years is long enough, surely. Jim Mills has put, yes, you must all come back sometime. I've mentioned that. I would love that. It's taken me some months to get Nathan on here. So I have been trying. But it would
Mark,
be
it's a respect to you and appreciation to you're a gentleman.
Thank you, Nathan. I appreciate that. But
And Federico for the quality of his naturally extracted tobacco that keep me off the smoking. So I joined your show.
lovely. Well, it's been lovely having you, and I hope you do come back on again, Nathan. I'm not going to badge you to come on every week or anything, but it'd be lovely.
No, I can't do that.
It'd be lovely to have you back on, and as a pop-in guest. Now you've done it once, you see.
For a special occasion. Hopefully, then I wouldn't delay, and also I'll be in my office. It'll be a better lighting.
Yeah, that'd be good. That'd be good. Yeah, that'd be good.
Right, so I'm going to be going now because I've got to drive 80 miles now.
Yes, Nathan. Okay.
So I want to say thank you to all of you. And
thank you.
Federico, well done. And Mark, well done to you as well.
Thank you,
And
Nathan.
to all those who are in the chat, I want to say, like I normally say, enjoy your vape. Until the next time. Bye-bye for now.
Thank you, Nathan. Lovely to have you on the show.
Thank you so much, Nathan. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for your questions and all the work you do. Even from Italy, we appreciate you a lot.
Drive carefully.
The pleasure is all mine.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Hanging up, or do you need me to get rid of you?
No, you hang up because I'm not sure exactly how to do it.
I'll do that for you. 1 second. Bye-bye, Nathan.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye-bye. Thank you so much.
Bless his heart. What a lovely man.
Indeed.
Now my chat has gone straight to the bottom, and I don't know where I was, but that'll be all right. I'll find it. I don't think people have been saying too much now. I will just find where we were. Sorry for the pause, everybody. Through me. There you go. I think, here we are. Yeah, that was the last comment. Johan, been great live chat tonight. Adrian, it's been awesome to see Nathan and Federico on the show tonight. Thank you so much for making the time for us. Yeah, I'd second that. Both of you for making the time to come on, because you are donating your free time. You're not being paid. It's
but still, it's a pleasure. So thank you so much for inviting me, and thank you for all the kind comments from the chat. It's been a real pleasure to be here, to be with you guys.
Mark Trigwell, top show, guys. I for one love tonight's panel. Thank you guys for the invaluable time. Much appreciated. Thank you, Mark. Nice of you to say so.
Thank you.
Right, here we are. I think this was Coyle's question. Once a net is mixed up, is it better for me to store it in glass or plastic? Does it make a difference? I felt my net lost flavour in the plastic.
Well, for a short time, I tend to use the same bottles that the liquids come in, and for a month or 2 months, 6 months, they've been on the market for a few months now, and I had zero problems, but they don't tend to last very much. If you tend to use them maybe in time, it would be even better to store it in glass, but I don't think it's that necessary if you use it right away.
Yeah, Colin just says your taste buds are broken. Maybe I mixed at 7%. Yeah, I kind of recommended people to mix just the normal ones at 7% because I mixed mine at 10% the first time, and that was too strong for me. I enjoyed it, but I just felt no, this could go down a little, which I was really surprised at because in my head for mixing other e-liquids I've been 15 or even 20%, up to 20. So I thought 10 was bad. I thought it's gonna need at least 10, and then I thought no, it doesn't.
Yeah, we changed a lot of logics in this
Yeah,
market
yeah,
because
you
we,
did.
we we are like 3, 4, 5 times as concentrated as like competitors. So those percentages are like, if you want to try it, if you didn't try it yet, do a Latakia 2%.
Two,
That's so strong. 2%.
2%, crikey.
You could be using it in a pod mod, obviously not with a huge coil duration, but still a decent one, and you have no idea. Even the thing is, not only the obviously with less percentage of dilution, the coils tend to last more, but you even can appreciate like different aspects to the same liquid. Even if it's too strong, some aspects come up a lot, but some others are like hidden behind. If you go down with the dilution, you appreciate some other notes. So
Yeah,
experiment with this.
bit like temperatures, really, isn't it? If you hit something at a high wattage, you sometimes miss out on what you would get at a lower wattage. Yeah, it
Indeed,
does
indeed.
vary. Lynn
That's
Smith
a
has
good
got a
point.
question for you, Federico. Lynn's one of my spanners. Good evening, Lynn. Federico, what is the vape industry like in general in Italy? I guess probably what Lynn means, he probably means, is it quite sort of, is it buoyant? Because in the UK, I don't know if it's the same in Italy. We found that it's had like its boom almost with RTAs. And oh, that's the latest, greatest. We'll buy that, and there's people, everyone ordered it. That has kind of peaked off, and now the RTAs like the K Fun X. We thought, oh, I'll try it, and you kind of don't expect miracles from it because there's a lot of other RTAs that are on a really high level. And what does this do? How could it be improved on where we are? And
Mhm.
I think it's lost some of its fascination in a way. There's still the people like you guys in chat and us sitting here that we're still like, oh no, I want to try that. It's new, but it does seem to have eased off, and also with the disposables have kicked this market quite hard, I think, as well. Because they're readily available. Just go and pick one up from the garage, and you see them everywhere on the paths, crushed.
Mhm.
The empty ones. Is that fairly
Yeah.
similar?
Okay, so I would say in a way, yes. Thing is, we've been having for many, many years, as I was telling, like discussions, like very, very intense discussions on which RTA for which liquid and why. I would say in the last 2 years or so, that has gone down quite a bit, and there has been a boom before the disposables of the pod mods, like the Kiwi one, but many others.
Mm.
And also, there has been quite a huge comeback of the pre-made coils. We have been seeing so many people, which were like long date vapors of La Tabaccheria of the advanced range, so the ones you have to use with rebuildable atomizers, saying now with the white line, and now even more so with the extra dry line, they're like, I see no point in rebuilding anymore. I I lost interest, or just it's so perfect the way it is. I don't want to. I would say it's more less of a niche and more of a mainstream thing. So as with the disposable, you just want to be, okay with what you're doing, and it's not that much the hobby. So you dedicate time to rebuilding, time to study the new atomizer, and so on. And this is one of the reasons why the market wanted something which was very easy to use, very easy to mix, because the mixing is so easy with those. You just add 4 bottles, be them with or without nicotine, but you just add 4 bottles. And then you vape it where you want to vape it, you can vape it. You want to vape it in a rebuildable one, you can vape it there. And like me, like you, like Nathan, we rebuild so much less.
Yeah.
Like 1/4, 1/5 of the time. Otherwise, you can be using like those good coils. Zenith 2, this is so good. I didn't really know
I've noticed.
precisely the coils Nathan was referencing, but this one, the Inakin
Yeah.
0.8, this is fantastic. You can use this for more than 60, 80, 100 with the right liquids like those.
Yeah.
So many people are not that much, interested in investing time, their personal time, in this kind of hobby anymore, I would say. And so with the rebuildables, that you're right in saying it's an environmental problem, also about the education of the single people, that they shouldn't be throwing them away everywhere. Of course, this is really bad to see at bus stops or around the streets. But also, I want to say that they can be helpful because they are so easy, so straightforward, that the people that would be going and buying the pack of cigarettes, with the same ease, they can buy the disposable, and they have everything they want in there. And as long as it goes, they smoke it. And then, of course, they should be disposing of it in the right way. But then you just buy another one. So it's so simple, and I think that can be beneficial for a first step. And then people really want to enjoy vaping to the fullest, then they can explore a huge world of possibilities.
Yeah.
But maybe we could be losing one person, because with all the other combinations, it would be too much. Maybe not in reality, but in his imagination, it would be too much to process. So with the disposable, it's so easy.
Gadgety person, me. I've always liked the gadget side of putting my own coil in, putting my own wick in, doing it. But Jim Mills, Matafina is sublime. Depth of delicate flavours is outstanding. Thank you, Jim. I don't know why I'm saying thank you. I had no say in the manufacture of it, but yeah, thanks for appreciating it. Coyle says about Poland. We won't even touch on that. It's a vaping show. Right, okay. I think we've done an extra half an hour, so you still got your hour and a half out of us. So I think the time has come. I don't think there's any other question. I will just quickly scroll through. Make sure there's nothing that I've missed. I don't want to miss an important question. No, Pop Cherry Nathan. Yeah, yes. His first live show, and he's come on here. I'm honoured. I feel honoured for that. That's brilliant.
Me too. Me too. So much. Such a nice person. Such an honour to be here with you guys.
Yeah, he's one in a million. He really is. Craig says he mixes all that Tabaccheria at 5%. Perfect.
With the strong ones like Latakia, I think 5% is pretty intense. If you go above that, it can be.
I mixed one of them at 7, and I was like, oh, I did.
That's why I'm saying with Latakia, with Kentucky, with the fire cured ones, you could be going down from the 5. So 3, 4, 3, 4. Then it's up to the single pallet and also the single moment. Maybe for an all-day vape, you do it, with less percentage. Maybe you create one Latakia 10%, even above that, if you really want to be very with an extremely strong flavor.
Hardcore.
And after dinner, I don't know. Yeah, you just ate it and you go into a meditative state.
Mark has just said that he mixed an attacker at 3% and found it perfect as a standard flavour. Add 2% burley, just awesome.
Burley is fantastic for mixing.
Yeah. Mark says I first mixed the Latakia at 8%, which is so strong and smoky, but at 4% you taste incense, leather and smoke in a balanced way. The best Tabaccheria I've tasted is the La Tabaccheria. So thanks for that, Mark.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and Craig says his next batch will go down from 5 to 3 and see how it is. I'm liking 5 though.
Yeah, there are so many experiments with recipes, with percentages. We want you to enjoy creating your own mixes and everything.
Stuart Dill, I don't know if you're aware of this one. Stuart, I mixed on the show, I think it was a Virginia, with the boosters and a Nick shot. And I put the question out, if there's anyone in chat that fancies trying it, that perhaps hasn't ever tried a naturally extracted tobacco before, call out and I'll post it to you, because it was one that I made here. And Stuart was the recipient of that. He said he'd like to try it. And he's just said there that he loved the juice sent to me, never rewicked for 2 to 3 weeks. So brilliant. That's good.
Nice.
Thanks, really informative. Bravo. Thank you, Jim. And there you go. I think, bless you all, nothing but good wishes. I think we're there. Mesh and tasted. What's that? Next is the Rook, but Genesis, Mesh, and Tasty Rope demand too much time. Right, okay, whatever. All right, lovely. Well, would you like to say your goodbyes, Federico?
Absolutely. So thank you so much, Mark, for having me. And it's been such a pleasure to be here tonight and possibly see you again in the future sometimes. So thank you so much for all the kind comments in the chat and all the appreciation for the liquids. Again, I remind you that our website, together with Mark's one, is filled with information and things to discover. So enjoy that. And thank you so much again, Mark.
Thank you, Federico. And yes, I'm sure you. Well, I'd love to have you back on again. I hope you will be. It's always nice to hear, the information from the horse's mouth. That you get the right information then, and you can guide us in the right way. So that's been brilliant. Apologies to everyone that we were late starting. That it was just one of those things. I wanted to give Nathan every opportunity to come on. I really wanted him on here, and I didn't want to be fumbling at the start trying to get him on and it all going wrong. So it was worth the wait, I think, and I hope. So
for me, absolutely worth the wait.
Yeah,
brilliant.
I think so. He's for what he does, he's worth waiting a few minutes for. Thank you for your lovely comments, your constructive comments as always in chat. There have been some superb questions in there tonight and general comments. And until next time, probably in 2 weeks' time, take care and bye for now. If I can find the right button. See ya.
Ciao, ciao.